Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another show. As you guys know, I'm the host, Dino. I'm not always by myself. I have a special guest with me today. To tell them what you do, what your name is, man.
Short thing, Dino. My name is Josh Ford. I live in South Florida currently in West Palm Beach, and I am an account manager in the manufacturing industry for aerospace and defense.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I knew Josh for a while now, man. About like 10 years now.
Yeah. Since probably you were close to middle school. I'm a few years ahead, but yeah, high school, middle school age for sure.
hmm Yeah, but anyway, we're just gonna get straight to the topic for today. Now, the topic for today is what to look for in a relationship from from a guy's standpoint of view. Now, I don't want you ladies in the comment section talking about Dino. You don't know what you're talking about. That's why I said the first time from a guy's standpoint of view what to look for in a relationship. Now, what I look for in relationship, now, I'm not superficial. I'm not going to say, oh, I want somebody who's with money. I'm not. I'm not going to say that because that's not what I want. What I look for in a relationship, I want somebody I can grow with. Build a future with. That's the type of relationship I want. When I come home, don't get mad if I come home late because you're not sure what I had going on. Maybe I was stuck in traffic. You can get mad at me. I can control the traffic. But what you look for in a relationship?
I think you just said like a few very important aspects, right? You're kind of touching on delayed gratification, is what I call it, right? Where it's not just about the here and now, but it's about the things that are coming down the road and are the things that we focus on here and now going to help us, right? Help our cause down the road. And when it comes to, you were saying even about you stuck in traffic, right? Those things that you can control versus those things that you can't control, right? To me, I feel like there's a sense of understanding that needs to come from those that from both parties in a relationship. You have to be understanding, and and the other person also has to be understanding as well, and understanding that, all right, if you're making your best effort, most of the time, and people are understanding what's going on, then that they're able to understand, adjust, and know what's going on. So I think that both of those things are very important. Just to piggyback off a little bit of what you said, and just overall, I feel like understanding can solve, in my opinion, all problems throughout the world, and just having a clear picture of what's to be painted, and from where you're going, emotional intelligence, and then from where that person's coming from. I think those are the basis and the grounding of that.
See, I'm glad you said emotional intelligence, man. Because some people want a man. Some girls, I'm not gonna say girls. Some women want a man who are emotional intelligent, but they don't realize what emotional intelligence do come with them. Because sometimes, dude, yeah, you want an emotional intelligent man, but sometimes that emotional intelligent man is gonna put you in your place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I think understanding is the basis.
hmm
I was actually reading a book by Daniel Go- Golet, if I say his last name correctly. He did Harvard Business Reviews
Nice.
um, on emotional intelligence,
hmm
and that was a lot of it was kind of workplace based, but um, in my opinion, a lot of it is relationship based as well, and it's applicable to both. And
hmm
so, just really focusing on where are my words directed towards, and how are they going to come off.
Gotcha.
Where's my heart, right? In Christianity, we talk about that a lot. Like, where's the heart headed,
hmm
and what's the intention? And I feel like that those type of things are very, very, very important. And the and just the overall understanding and of your own emotions as well as somebody else's, and taking them into consideration.
Gotcha. See, I'm glad you say that because people think, oh, being in a relationship is easy because all you gotta do is just be with them, but you don't realize like there's two people in the relationship.
Yeah.
You gotta take their account, not their problem become your problem, and your problem become their problem.
I disagree though. I don't think that somebody else's problem become your problem.
Uh,
Like I do to a certain extent, right? Because they're an extension of you, right?
yeah,
I just feel that that people have to maintain their individualism, and so people have to. You can understand somebody's problems, you can be there for them, and you can support them. But just because somebody else is going through something doesn't mean that it's your personal problem as well. It can be our problem, right? In a relationship, it can be our problem, something that we're dealing with. But just because somebody is individually going through something doesn't mean a significant other has to individually go through that thing as well. But they must be mindful throughout the whole time that this is what this person's going through, and be able to support them accordingly, whether it's the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, etc. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. Well, another thing as well is the jealousy aspect of the situation.
Jealousy.
Yeah,
That's a sensitive topic. Jealousy.
I know. See, like me, I don't want a person who get jealous all the time. Like for example, if I'm talking to another woman, how you know that woman wasn't my friend from high school or cousin I didn't see from a long time? Now you gonna get jealous now talking about do you know who that woman is? I'm not old up now.
Hey, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that though? That's a good question. Like how do you deal with that? Like if somebody is making assumptions, right? How do you deal with the fact that they're making assumptions and to understand you know where you stand, but to at least let them know that hey, this assumption is incorrect.
Yeah, I just tell them straight up, man. We don't sugarcoat nothing. I just tell them straight up, saying like, hey, this is just my friend or my cousin. My cousin I didn't see for a while, but I'll just keep it simple. If you don't believe me, that's your perspective.
But if she don't believe you, then what? The next day she want to break up with you because she don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna combat that?
I mean, if she don't believe, if she really, if you really like truly like me, then you wouldn't believe me. So we build the relationship based on trust.
Okay.
If you can't trust me, then what's the point of this relationship?
That's a good one. So I'll flip the script for you. So what if you're a lady, you know what I'm saying, that you've been talking to for a little while, say she's your girlfriend, etc. What if you catch her not catch her, but what if you see her kind of talking to somebody else and maybe to you, in your perspective, it seems a little flirtatious, right? And she says, oh, it's just my cousin, just my friend from high school, yada, yada, yada. How would you take that, and what would you do about that?
Well, that's a good question, man. I was just put to her side. I'm like, hey, I understand, like I understand, like you say he's your friend, but he's like a little bit flirting with you now. But he was a little bit flirting with you now. I don't appreciate that. Now, if you can like be less flirtatious with him, or
what if she said, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't flirtatious.
Oh,
I'm just being a devil's advocate, you know what I'm saying? I just want to hear from your perspective. Because this real life, man, a lot of people go through these things, and they don't know how to approach these situations. So like I just want to hear like how you would deal with that, And it's tough. These are the toughest conversations that I feel like people can have because everybody wants to be so vulnerable and be so open about relationship talk, and actually in podcasting is a big thing. Everybody has the right answers, the correct answers, but man, when times get tough and when you gotta answer the hard questions, like, all right, when it's put into action, what are you going to say? How are you going to react? Are you going to be proactive, etc.?
Yeah.
So I think those are kind of the hard hitters that make a lot of people be like, wow, this is real life. How do we go about this?
Like, you see, like me, I'm not the type of guy who get mad easily, man.
I know that about you for sure. You always been mild tempered.
Yeah, like if you want to be with the flirtatious guy, go ahead, man. Like, shoot.
Hey, you ladies, that's a message from Dino. He said, you want to be with other men, go ahead, but if you want to be happy with me, be happy with me,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Like,
okay.
Don't treat me like I want to be your choice. Don't treat me like an option.
Yeah.
You like.
But I do want to say, I do want to interject. I'm sorry to cut you off. I do want to interject and say that as men, as people, we also got to be aware that people do have options.
Yeah.
No, seriously, people have options, and so we have to be aware of that. But what I mean by that is, I think like back a long time ago, people would get into relationships or maybe even get married, and they just feel like they're kind of stuck there, and no matter what happens, and people act out, and there's and I'm talking years and years, decades ago, where people feel like they're stuck there. But I think in today's day and age, there's a lot more sense of freedom and individualism, where people have the right, as they should, to up and leave, right? And that might be a little controversial, but it is today's America, right? And that's something that we see. So I just think that we as men have to make sure that we uphold a standard for ourselves.
Yeah.
And for the people that were, our significant other, so that they're satisfied in the relationship as well. We can't just look at it like, oh, it is what it is, boom. No, whatever you did, I remember somebody told me this a long time ago, and I always stay true to it. Somebody said, whatever you did to get that girl, keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you did, don't stop doing it. What are you doing? You already set a precedence.
Yeah.
You have to gain and maintain, right? I think those are very important. I just wanted to let that be known.
I understand what you're saying. I was watching a podcast. This person asked a question. Why, man, like, do this, like, when they want you, they do the stuff to make you know they want you, but as soon as they already got you, they don't do the stuff no more.
Complacency.
Yeah, that's a big one though.
We get caught in that sometimes too. You think?
Complacency?
Yeah. Let's talk about complacency, man. If you ever get caught in a spot of complacency, what do you do to even one, realize that you're being complacent, and then two, to get yourself kind of out of that? Have you ever been caught in that you could think of, or not so much?
Well, define complacency.
For example, you ever got a girl flowers before, or did or kind of went quote unquote above and beyond, or did something that you kind of wouldn't usually do? Not for a girlfriend, but for anybody, you know what I'm saying?
I got my mom flowers.
For a significant other type though.
Nah,
because your mom gonna love you regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your mom, that's a different type of love. Your mom's gonna love you regardless. You know what I'm saying? But if it's for a significant other or somebody, and then you kind of just do something for them that, I'm not even saying that something getting flowers is above and beyond. I think that, in my opinion, that's normal. But anything like that, where it's maybe you kind of doing a little extra than what's expected of you at times, and then from there, you maybe feel complacent, like you don't have to continue doing stuff like that, but get back into it. So that's just an example. It's different for everybody and everybody's relationship, but
I can't remember the time I was complacent though.
Oh, that boy always on 100.
Yeah, man.
I understand, sir.
Yeah, you do nice stuff for me, I do nice stuff for you. That's how the game works now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's just continuous.
Yeah,
that's my point. It's continuous. Yeah.
But the thing is, some men, we don't know how to continue stuff.
That's why complacency exists.
Yeah.
I fall victim to it sometimes. You know, I fall victim to it sometimes. I'm human, and for me, what I do is I might, she don't communicate that. Maybe I talk about things with my friends, right? You ever talk about things with your friends and then say, yeah, this is going on. Maybe things are getting a little bit not rocky, but communication isn't how it was. Or things don't feel the same way that it did before, and so this is what's going on. And I think that often of times, I think that feeling of complacency or stagnation is where people will kind of point the red dot and say, yeah, maybe this is where it's stemming from. And so that's just my opinion from what I've seen, not only from myself, but maybe with other people as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that. And the other thing too, people fall victim to is looks, man. Like,
fall victim to.
Yeah. Okay, they could be good looking on the outside, like a brother like me, you feel me?
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
But now, but they don't realize what he got on the inside. Like he or she could be like the meanest person you ever met, but because you fall victim to the looks, got a six pack or ab, she get thick, all that good stuff. Before now, when you get into a relationship, now you realize that's not the type of person. That's not the type of person I thought you were.
What do you mean?
Okay.
You had somebody misconstrued because of their appearance?
Some people got somebody misconstrued, not me. Okay, because I like to judge on what's on the inside. Sure, looks good too, but that's not all that matters. You understand?
For sure.
I mean, like, looks first for me. I don't judge somebody based on looks. You good looking, cool. But how you gonna treat me in the long run? The same way I treat you, I expect the same thing in return.
Bars. Yeah. We're gonna make a book, Fadino quotes. Add it to the book.
Yeah, that's it. What you think about it? Do you judge somebody based on looks?
No. Definitely don't judge anyone based on looks. I will say, this is a fundamental thing though. I feel like it's just human. Is a lot of the time we, not that we judge based on looks, but that we might approach somebody based on looks.
Yeah, that's just human nature.
Yeah. So you can't really combat human nature, but if somebody, because typically if you approach somebody, then essentially you're giving them the opportunity to prove you right or wrong about what you're already assuming about them. Exactly. And so if other people are given the opportunity where maybe that you weren't exactly the first time you seen them, you didn't have like a high sense of attraction, you could still easily get to know that person and really actually gain attraction towards them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why I say like you definitely don't judge, but I think I'll be remiss to say that I don't. That's not something that I look for. Is like that physical attraction as well.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that everything is not always true. Like you said, which is one thing doesn't mean another thing. But I think all of those things come into play and come into consideration when approaching a significant other.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people they seek status than stability. Me,
yeah. Say that again for them, Dino. Say it again one time.
I said some people stick status than stability.
Yeah.
For the people who don't get what I mean, this is basically it. Y'all keep focusing on, I want somebody with the 6-figure millionaire, 3-car garage, 4 bathroom, 5 bedroom. Like have like all this and that. But what y'all don't realize, like also, if he or she doesn't make this certain type of money, I can't be with you because you can't provide for me. I grew up in a time where we build this together, man. Like we grow together. All this like, I want somebody for the money, like 6-car garage. Like, where you Generation Jesus, we can't come into that.
that's true, but I feel like I feel like that's just the internet right there, man. That's just strictly the internet. But if you really get out there and you actually talk to people and see where people are coming from, I don't think we see that so much. Maybe I'm a little blinded, because I'm very blessed and stuff, but I don't think a lot of people are really out here headhunting. Most people, specifically women, are like headhunting for those attributes. I think that it does exist, but I think that people are really out here with honest and admirable intentions a lot of the time that we don't always see. But if you look with a wider lens, you'll see those things. You'll see people with those intentions, and so I think we gotta look at it. Us as men gotta look at it a little bit wider as well.
That makes sense, man. Cause us as men, we don't look at that, man. We just see like the body and think, okay, I could handle that, but what we don't realize is what comes with it. This topic is getting heated.
You think so? I think this is a good conversation, man, because I think there's a lot of things that some people might need to hear because people always, even in adolescence, people are always kind of struggling with those type of things, but don't always have people to either talk to about it or listen about it. So I think you're doing a good thing here, and just letting people know that this is something that we all go through, we all deal with, and pushing the topic and the effort forward.
Thank you, man. Another thing about relationship too is people get into a relationship just because they're bored. I'm like, what? So let me tell you. So you get in a relationship just because you're bored. So you rather play with people's emotions. Now, if I'm bored, I go up on my PS4 or go outside, go work out or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna play with people's emotions. That's the thing I don't. Yeah. Yeah. What you think about that, man?
I think that a lot. I'll say this. I think a lot of people are scared to be alone.
Yeah.
Being alone does not equate to loneliness. And so a lot of people feel like just because they might be single for a certain period of time or anything, that they're never going to find something or that their time is never going to come, but that is not the case.
Exactly.
That's not the case at all. I actually feel like that being alone, especially maybe after you have been in a relationship, is beneficial for your individuality and you understanding yourself at a higher level, especially if you're young. You understand who am I really? Who am I really? By myself, not with somebody else. In a relationship, but who am I by myself? So these type of things are uncomfortable, and that's what can make it feel alone at times, right?
Exactly.
But as mentioned, it does not equate to loneliness. Be more. You have to be comfortable, and I'm only preaching this because this is something I went through. But I feel like you have to be comfortable with yourself and who you are and what you bring to the table as a human being before you can allow somebody else back in your life and in your space.
Exactly. Now, you made a good point because being alone do not equal to loneliness. Sometimes people say I'm lonely. No, you just need a hug.
Facts. Sometimes you just need a hug, right? Yeah, man.
Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't live without a partner. I want somebody." But like somebody say, "Oh, I want." The thing is, though, some women think, I want me I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. And that's why you got kids now.
Nah, you can't say that because The only reason I say that is because I know some, but I get where you're going from with that, but I disagree, man, because I feel like there's a lot of independent women out there, right? There's a lot of independent women out there that do a good job, whether they have kids or not, being independent. But as a man, you kind of have to understand the type of woman that you're looking for.
Yeah, I understand that, man. I'm so sorry, by the way, but like I grew up an only child, so my mom was an independent person. So yeah, I'm not saying all independent women are bad. It's just like this generation Z take it so far, like they don't need a partner. They don't need a partner. So I'm just saying, okay, you don't need a partner just because, for example, just because your wife is making more than you, that doesn't mean you less. That doesn't make the man less. The man still can provide, but he can provide in a different way.
Facts, facts. People have to understand their role with each other in a relationship, and obviously, money's the biggest thing that we go towards, but it's not everything.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I understand that. Money play a big role in society. Sure, you need money to survive, but in reality is in a relationship, like money ain't all that thing. Man, money is not all that, man. Because a person truly love you. Say like if you lose all the money in the world and you go back to sleeping in your car and they still with you, that's real true love right there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a short break and we're gonna get back to part 2 of this conversation.
Sir.
So okay, cool.
Check the live because there's questions for you to answer.
Oh, that's good.
Just one question.
Oh, cool.
Hey, we take that.
What the
Why
question
is
say?
my dad asking that?
What the question say?
Your dad the pastor?
My dad?
Is your dad the pastor?
No.
Your dad on the live stream?
He's what would we call my dad?
Like a chaplain? Like a chaplain? Deacon?
No, not a deacon, but he's like after the pastor, like in like Seventh-day Adventist, there's like elders. So he was first like an assistant pastor, but then he stepped down and let someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's just if you needed like a prayer or something, he'll be there. But
I guess we call that like chaplain sometimes. Like they're like
Like
a
a what?
like a chaplain.
a chaplain.
Yeah. CHAPLAIN.
Okay.
Kind of like a liaison, basically.
Okay.
So about how long is this break? About a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Oh, I don't know. How long? The song is 11 minutes.
We're not going.
Not the dog.
We're not going 11.
We can do 5 minutes.
What? Hey, what y'all? Hey,
Sorry.
what y'all think about the podcast so far? What y'all?
It's good so far.
But is there anything we should do different? This I can answer the question on YouTube. Fundamentally different, not our words, but fundamentally with the podcast.
I don't know. Next time, I think you do need to invite a female.
And that's what I was saying.
That what we was trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do. I was going to talk to her and say we can bring your cousin.
Oh, you trying to hop in?
No, I'm not hopping in.
You want to hop in real quick?
YouTube person.
You can hop in real quick.
She was. She did have me in my podcast before.
Oh, on the last
And I
one?
don't have any.
You was on the last one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the
because
last
you agree
one.
with everything he said.
Like the
No,
previous
I don't agree, but I don't.
Alright, don't worry. I might address that though.
Okay.
So I wanted to invite your cousin next.
Which cousin?
The girl.
Mika?
Yeah.
She's not like. Yeah, she ain't gonna do it.
I think you should hop in.
Maybe next time, like I gotta know like a month or 2 months. like, you know, I gotta get ready for
She
you.
got a busy schedule, bro.
I know.
I don't have a busy
She
schedule.
real,
I just
bro.
don't like.
She's like she's a celebrity. She's a celebrity.
And I gotta find my replacement to like help me.
Yo, he's not even doing that back there. You doing all the work.
That's why I say from the start, this is a guy's perspective.
Yeah, we did address that in the beginning. We did address it.
But next time, like, have a guy and a girl.
So we can address both
Then
perspectives.
y'all both gonna be like fighting and stuff. Like, it's gonna be intense.
Yeah.
More.
That's what I say I want to
You don't want to
part
make it.
two.
You don't want to make it intense.
Like hopping in.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to be on the screen, but just the voice. You know how you take the little mic and just be like, well, what? You know how at some
I can
podcasts.
ask questions.
Yeah, some podcasts be
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid of. Hey, right? This Dino podcast.
Okay, I'll ask on the live.
I say.
Okay, you can ask questions too.
I say you take the mic. I say you take the mic and fight back a little bit.
I don't have no. I didn't listen to this one.
The life question is, if I have a lot of money, do I need a girlfriend or what?
Okay, we can answer that. We can answer that.
So I answered this question on the line.
You answered it?
I will answer
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Who asking that question?
Who asked? Did they ask that question?
That's, huh?
Who asked that question? Did that? Of course he did.
Oh, y'all must got money.
Huh?
Y'all got money.
No. Nowhere.
Yeah, she did. She do.
Ooh, no, I don't have money.
She got a new car.
I work, but to earn
She
money,
a hard
I don't
worker.
She got
have.
a new car.
She earner.
I earn it. I don't have money. What is that? Oh, I don't have money. Are we done? It's been 4 minutes.
Yeah, go
He
ahead.
said 5.
You want to hit it to 5?
He said 5.
Yeah,
like on the dot.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop it. Once you hear the music stop, just start.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. Now we had a question on the live. This person asks, if I have a lot of money, do I need a girlfriend or a wife? Now that's a very good question. Whoever asked this, I feel like no. If you have a lot of money, you don't need a girlfriend or a wife, because I feel like they're just gonna focus on the money part. They're just gonna focus on the money part more, because they're not gonna know that. They're not gonna know the actual person you are, because they're gonna see the materialistic aspect of the thing. Like, now, if you didn't have money, and you met your significant other, the significant other, because you didn't have money, then you guys can build a relationship. Then you guys can build a relationship together. But if you already got the money and you find a girlfriend and or a wife, now they're just gonna focus on the money part. They're not gonna actually know the human being behind all the status, behind all the flashy clothes and all that.
I mean, I would respectfully disagree. The only reason I say that, I'll tell you the only reason I say that though is, I think that's the common take though. I think that's what most people think, and there's probably a lot of truth to it. But I will say that's definitely not necessary, because love is universal, right? And people can get to know each other regardless of the money or not, right? Obviously, money does play a high role in our lives, in our lifestyles, right? And so, I just want to make sure. So, as mentioned, I think love does play a large and significant role in a lot of our lifestyles, but the reason I disagree is because it's definitely, even if you have money, it's definitely not the only thing that people are looking towards. Maybe most people, yes, but I think that, maybe I'm a little naive, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still opportunity for a lot of people to get to know who you are. And it also takes a lot to gel with people and understand what they're looking for, And if money plays a part in that, I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, are more open to telling you, hey, money plays a part in what I'm looking for, or not what I'm looking for, as we kind of talked about earlier, right? Women are looking for the 6 figures and this.
Yeah.
More now than ever. I think there's a sense of transparency. And so, I think that to answer the question, that was the YouTube question, right? Which was, if you have money, if you're rich, I think was the terminology. If you're rich, do you need a wife or a girlfriend?
Yeah.
I definitely don't think the answer is yes. It may make things a little bit harder for you, but I also can't speak on it too much because I ain't rich. I'm rich in spirit. I ain't rich in money. I do well for myself, but I don't think that I do all right for myself, but I don't think that people are looking at me or a lot of people I hang with as gitches. And so maybe I'm a little naive in my answer, but I feel like there's definitely, based on what you said, I feel like there's definitely room for love and authentic relationship in people's relationships, even if money is involved. And I've seen it before too. We went to school together.
Yeah.
And if you looked at some of the people that we went to school with, they're if you look at their parents and kind of their home situations, there was a lot of authentic relationships. Even though, despite the fact that they had money, and I think that some things like that we kind of look past. Real life examples.
There was only one person at the school that I know was rich.
We can disclose. We'll undisclose. The name is undisclosed. Yeah. But we can talk. We can talk about it off camera. But they're people do very well for themselves and live different lifestyles. And I don't think it's the same across the board for either one. But the question is it possible? Is it optimal? Yes, it very much so can be. Just depending on your situation and who you are and who that person is as well. So I know that's not the stereotypical podcast answer, but
it's all right, man.
It depends.
Yeah, I agree. It does depend. Now, I just gave my answer, but that was just my opinion.
Yeah, it's good. Nah, I like that. It's subjective, man. That's a good. You gave a good answer for sure.
Maybe when I grow older, my perspective on that will change.
When you get rich?
Yeah, when I get rich, my perspective on that will change.
Yes, sir.
But for now, that's just my perspective on things. I don't want you guys in the comment section talking about, you don't know what you're talking about here, man. Like, no. That's just my perspective on this, and that's it.
And we will also like to give this disclosure because we kind of did talk about it on the break a little bit, but just the fact that Ferdinand mentioned it in the beginning, but this is our two perspective.
Yeah.
Right. We just two guys in our mid-20s, kind of just going through life, and we only know what we know, right? Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of other perspectives, whether it's from older men or women of different ages and ethnicities and ways of life, social livings, and stuff like that. And so, I think there's definitely like a room for probably a lot of maybe discourse, right, Dino? Yeah. Maybe a lot of discourse, or maybe just kind of rebuttals. And so these are the type of things where y'all tune in live to Dino's show, and you can tune in and talk about these things on the YouTube live or whatever platform. So I do want to point that out for Dino and the crew here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, but thank you though. Like this podcast has been interesting though. The only reason I did this because we don't talk about this thing as men, so that's why I think sometimes most relationships fail because we don't talk about these things. I'm not saying all relationships fail, but
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully. But no, that's the thing though. Like man, us men we're scared to be vulnerable. That's the thing. Like it's okay. Like we don't have to be strong all the time.
You tell your friends you love them?
Yeah.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
I tell all the homies I love them, man. I think that's important.
Exactly, man. Because us brothers, like we don't like show love like that because we think, well, they like love me. Why you love me for? I don't know. Like, but women, they tell each other, I love them all the time. Oh, they tell each other, oh, I love you and stuff like that. But that's just their human nature. But if a man say that to other man, they be like, oh, he's one of those. Like,
I think that's the misconception that needs to be erased, man. I think we're seeing it more and more where I think we give people flowers a lot more than we used to back in the day, right? We see it in television now and in the media, right?
Exactly.
Where we want to give celebrities flowers and stuff like that. But
exactly.
honestly, I think it flows down. The fact that those media is being more positive, and we can flow it down to each other and say, like, all right, we appreciate you for being who you are and stuff like that. I think that it's super contagious and important. Positivity is contagious.
Exactly.
And it's important. So
we need to be positive in the world, man. 'Cause I miss the days, man, where you can just take off your jacket, lay over the puddle, man. That's it.
Hey, bring back chivalry. Dino says chivalry is dead. Who killed it?
Generation Z.
Gen Z killed it, apparently.
Yeah.
Not my words. Not my words.
But, like, I think we can just cut it. Like, cut it for right now. Let me know if you guys need a part 2, and I'll try to get a woman's perspective next time on the show. Because I know you guys going to be in the comment section. The comment section going to go crazy talking about Dino. Again, you don't know what you're talking about. Like I said before, this is a man's podcast. This is from a man's point of view, okay? So don't kill me in the comments. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.